This hip opening flow can be a flow where you stop and pause to lengthen the amount of time that you will be resting in each of these poses. Today I will do about 5 breaths to make it its shortest length, but you can feel free to stop and start it as you need to create more space and more time for yourself to dive further into this flow. So I do have a couple accessories here today with me. Some of them you will need, some of them you might not need depending on your location. What I believe everyone will need is a yoga strap, or at least like belts or infinity scarves that do provide some extra length, because we will need, I want to say, quite a bit of this length here. Some might not need it at all, but I do think most of us will require this. A blanket I think is really nice, especially if you are on something that's harder wood floors, because the blanket is going to be used to place our leg on as we kind of roll around. And if you feel like knees or toes or like foot bunions are gonna rub against the floor and be uncomfortable, then grab yourself a blanket. If you're on carpet or something softer, you might not need this accessory at all. I will provide a secondary option for a pose that we will get into when we're on our tummies with this full leg extension. Some of you might not feel confident in that, or it might reach that strain rather than stretch area. So if you do not have a yoga bolster at home and you do have couch cushions that come off, a couch cushion is a good substitute, but you can also stack and layer blankets. I will come into this as a secondary option later on, but let's already dive into the things and stuff so we can make this flow as quick and efficient for you as possible. But also, if you want to start and stop it, make it as luxurious and long as you would like it possible. So we're going to start by, actually the entire practice is going to be done from our backs on the mat. So go ahead, recline back, and you're going to settle your feet into the floor like you'd prepare for bridge pose. Now crossing your right ankle over your left thigh will allow just a little bit of space here to let the right knee fully open. Sometimes there can be a tightness leading into this, so give yourself some space here to allow it to open. Sometimes an adjustment might need to be made. But when you're ready, you'll guide this whole shape in towards your chest, and you'll either grip along the left thigh in between the calf and thigh, or grab along the left shin bone just underneath the knee. You might go completely hands-free, or you might need this strap to loop in to create some space here. Now, if we'll each try to guide our left knee to be more in alignment with our left hip, you'll start to feel this great stretching sensation throughout your right glute. We're going to take the breath into this location, so as you inhale, the right glute area expands. And as you exhale, you soften. The leg shape can be drawn closer in towards the chest as those muscles lengthen and embrace the stretch. We'll take 3 more breaths just like this. Filling the space and drawing the legs in closer. Last breath. Let's return the shape to the floor. Now you can stay here with this right ankle crossed over the left, but know that you also have the option to do a traditional bridge lift here. So either run across that foot, everybody hands next to the side, or keep the leg crossed. Let's go ahead, lift up into our figure 4 bridge lift or traditional bridge lift. As that left foot presses into the ground, firmly rooting, we want to create space for this right leg to be open, the beautiful balance between masculine and feminine, yin and yang, effort and surrender. Last breath. Release the hips back to the ground. Recross the right ankle over the left if you had your traditional bridge lift. And now we're going to take this shape. You're going to turn around. This whole shape here is going to collapse over to the left side of your mat. Now, we would like to see the right foot and the outside of the left knee both landing on the ground. However, if they do not, this is the time to grab your blanket and slide it underneath of there so they have a place to land. Now, once they land, if they land, you can add on a reach of your left hand down to grab a hold of that right ankle to take it in close and anchor it here. Then gently pushing up through that right knee. everybody, where we feel that lengthening sensation, we're going to guide the same expansive breath. Inhale, exhale. Embrace the space you've created to take the stretch just a little deeper. 3 more breaths here. All right, now by pressing into the back of our left arm, we're going to offer some support to bring this whole leg shape back up through the middle. Guide your right knee into your chest, and you could take a hold of that one. Let me turn again here. Now your left leg's going to go straight down the mat. For a moment here, we give a gentle massage, bringing knee to chest, lengthening through the back of that right hip, preparing the body to twist in a single supine twist. Your right arm now comes out to the side. We're not, stuck on this or anchored by this in any way. It's going to just be out of our way. So we can take a big breath in. Exhale out, drawing the right knee across the body to land on the left side. And this is what I was saying about not being too attached with this right arm, because if it's still hovering and hanging on back here, you'll want to bring your right hand to rest on your rib cage, letting the elbow just straight behind. Here, if you have your blanket available, slide it underneath your head for some comfort. It'll also start to bring your neck in more alignment with the rest of your spine, especially if you're feeling this pull on the right shoulder. If your chest is opening up and you're able to draw, both shoulders closer to the floor, you might not need that addition of the blanket. I just like it because it's softer too. You'll notice I'm reaching down to grab my strap because we'll be using it here for a moment. So if you do not have your strap handy, now is the time to grab it as I kind of guide us deeper into this particular pose. You want to make sure your left leg here is softened from glute to toe tips all the way down the mat. And you provide that same softening of the right leg too. You can readjust into your shoulders and turn your gaze from one way to the other. And in that exploration, find the sweet spot that feels the best for you. It's important that this right leg does have an anchoring spot attached to the floor so it feels safe and secure for the rest of the body to continue to open. Now we have possibly our strap here, I think we're going to all need it here. We're going to loop up our right foot into that strap and start to extend out through the right leg. Kind of reopen your twist towards the ceiling once you've extended out through that right leg. Reaching down on the strap with your left hand, you want this to be a true expression of your arm. So there's not a lot of slack here. The strap is pretty taut. That way, if you wanted to explore heightening the angle at which your leg is at, you can. You have more control. All right, we're going to be rolling onto our bellies. So let's take this step by step. Bring your right arm in to touch your body and roll entirely on your left side. You're going to even start to tuck that left side so it's completely on the ground. Now, the right arm is going to reach over here and they're going to grab a hold of the straps. We're going to start to slide the left hip over, move things and stuff over here. So our tummy comes down to the ground. This is the clunky version we've got here. So the next side we will be further prepared. So as we come down to our tummy, we want the left leg down the mat. The right leg is off to the side here and we're still strapped up. So if we want to heighten the angle at which this is at, we can reach as far down the strap as you are able to create a true extension. Adjust your chest so it lands on the floor. You can add a blanket here or a place for your head. The first breath we take is to soften that left leg. And then you'll want to relax your right leg. Take a breath behind your hips.
Guide the next breath behind your heart. And you'll feel as you exhale, it's softening closer towards the ground. Take a breath for in between your shoulder blades. And a final breath just for you. This is typically where people, pause and hold. But for now, we're going to move forward. And the roll onto our back is going to be a little bit odd, but again, we're practicing. It's not about perfection. So let's re-roll onto our left side. So we got to bring our left arm back around. Start tucking that left hip. So this left side of our body is grounded. Our right hand is going to reach down and grab a hold of this strap, making it taut again. Pushing into the back of the left arm, rolling onto your back. Oop. We now can hold onto this strap with both of our hands. The right leg is kicked up in the air. The left leg is down the mat. We're reaching up the strap to create tension 3 times. Guide your forehead in towards your knee. You can hold for a little bit and then release the head. We're doing that 3 times. And take a moment, scooch over on my mat, because this is the funnest part. So if you were a fan of the big comfy couch growing up, this is your dream come true moment right now. For those of you that have not, you can now have something to go look up and you're a member of the big comfy couch. So the left arm is going to go out to the side, and this one's for stability. We're going to hold on to the strap as high up as we can, opening that right leg to the side so it hovers above the floor, letting the strap lengthen as it's needed. We want a nice straight leg here. It hovers gently above the floor, and then you start to move that right leg back towards the bottom edge of the mat. It moves along a clock, going back through time from 10, 9, or 8 to 7, 6, landing at the bottom. Do me a favor here and take a moment. Notice. Your right leg is now longer than your left leg. It's magical. But we got to go on the other side and do the same thing. So let's kind of shimmy around. This time we know that that strap is here for us. We know that we can use it and that we strap it up when the knee is going to come across the body. So now you have some knowledge there about the strap this time. If you'd like, you can do a pencil stretch in between here. Getting nice and long and drawing the body back in. Let's bring left knee to left ankle to cross over the right knee. I don't know about you, but I rolled around off my mat. Okay, so we now have figure 4. Excuse me. Excuse me, I am wrong. Left ankle over right leg, figure 4, draw the shape in. We've got it together. Okay, so we're either hands free or holding on along the right shin would be bound. In between the right calf and thigh is a great grounding point that we can feel really connected in. It helps us lower that bottom part of our back into the floor. Guide your right knee into alignment with your hip. 3 breaths. With each breath, we create space. That's the imagination of the inflation. And the exhale is where we utilize that space. That's when we bring the knee shape in closer to feel a little bit deeper of a stretch. Let's release the shape to the floor. Some chose to do a figure 4 bridge lift. Others chose to go the traditional route to the bridge lift. Here we go. Feet or foot planted, arms next to the side of the body. Push into the floor and lift off. Grounding through the right foot. Open through the left knee. Steady breath. Rooting down and rising up. Return hips to the floor. Cross your left ankle over the right leg if you went traditional bridge lift. This whole leg shape is going to collapse over to the right side. Here you can add the addition of a blanket or a block or some support to ensure that this foot and the outside of your right knee have a landing place. You might also feel the need for a blanket to slide underneath your head. If you would like, for the second time, you can reach your right hand down to grasp a hold of that left ankle, creating an anchor. Gently pressing up through the left knee, we guide the breath to where we feel that stretch. Create space, and then utilize it. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to go back through the middle. Press into the back of your right arm, bringing this shape up to the center. You'll bring the left knee into the chest with the right leg down. There was the option of the pencil stretch here. Gently massage that left hip to lengthen through it before we twist. Then the left arm will go out to the side. We'll take a beautiful breath in through the nose, and as we release it through the mouth, this left leg moves across the body, gently tucking under the right hip, adjusting through the left arm, supporting our head, softening of the right leg, followed by the left, adjusting of the shoulders, steadying of the breath. I am currently looking around for my strap to ensure that I get it hooked up with the foot. So if you too have not switched over to loop up with the other side, now is that time. I have this unique experience happening on this side that I'm running into a wall, which isn't the worst thing in the world because we are going to use it to our advantage. So on this side, I am going to cue this just because it's here and available. And why not? If you rewatch this video, you will know what to do with the wall next time. So let's start kicking out through the left leg. And I'm noticing that as I kick out through the left leg, my left foot is able to land against the wall. So I don't need my strap because there's already an anchor provided for me. So I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to leave the foot on the wall and reopen for this extended single supine twist. If you have your strap still in your hand, remember you can gently pull on that strap just to bring this angle up to the area that you'd like for it to be. Take 2 more breaths. And then this is where we rolled onto our tummy. So since I have the wall, I get to release everything. Roll onto my tummy, keeping that planted. Stomach to floor, right arm on the right side of the body, left arm on the left side of the body. If you still have your strap, your left hand is grabbing a hold of both sides of the strap, and you can draw up through that left leg as high as you'd like. You too are shifting your right arm to be on the right side of your body, as the left arm ensures that it's fully extended down the strap to be a true expression of it. We can move through that right hip, adjust and create space. Landing through the chest. We have 3 places to breathe. And I'm going to let you take those 3 breaths on your own through the low back, the heart, and the shoulder blades as I cue how you would use the wall to deepen this stretch. Instead of pulling on a strap to rise up through that left leg, what I can actually do is use my arms and my back leg here to shift my body back. So the foot stays where it's at, but see how I can shift forward and back.
take these last few moments to surrender. Because from here, we're going to roll over onto our backs so this left leg can be up towards the ceiling. Here we go. Right arm coming in. We are rotating onto the right side of our body completely. Grabbing a hold of that strap with our left hand, pushing into the back of our right arm, realigning. So, we might not be aligning down the mat, but we're going to align our body, shoulders, hips, right legs down the mat, left legs up in the air, reaching high up at 3 forehead towards knee pulls. And then our comfy couch moment. The left hand grabs the hold of both sides of the strap. The right arm goes out to anchor. We open through the left leg, lengthening the strap as we need so it hovers above the floor, and continuing to lengthen that strap and move the foot from 2 or 3 or 4 to 5 and 6. If you want to make any adjustments now, you can. Otherwise, you can lay candidly just wherever you've landed. Here, you allow the heels to separate a little further away than they normally would so that the toes and knees and hips may open. Lengthen through the back of your neck. If you need a little blankie, now's the time. Arms can open to the side and palms flip up towards the ceiling. Take 3 breaths in through the nose and release them out through the mouth. Namaste.